Hi, Nikki, and welcome. My name is Kathleen Blackwell, and I will be working with you today. Before we begin, I want to express everything that you tell me is confidential, and nothing will be shared other than to my professor that is seeing this at ECU. Um, I will be jotting down some notes to help better myself for our benefit for your treatment plan and stuff. Are you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I want you to know that I understand that reaching out for support can sometimes feel daunting, so I appreciate your willingness to engage in this process. Before we begin, do you have any questions for me?
I know I don't.
Okay, can you tell me what brings you here today?
I am just recently found out I'm pregnant again. And I'm unable to take care of my 2-year-old son, let alone the new baby. So I was wanting my options to put them in a home and give them a better life.
Okay. Um, I understand that this isn't a decision that you can come to lightly. So have you thought about this for some time now?
Yes, I was already at the determination of giving over parental rights to my son. And then I recently just found out I'm pregnant. I'd only just 4 weeks along, and I do have a difficulty time carrying, so I'm not even sure I'll be able to carry to term. But I do need to set up something just in case. And as far as my son goes, I just think he can get a better life somewhere else. So I'm wanting to give up my parental rights.
So
And
are
I
you
know
wanting
at
to give
two
up
years
parental
old,
rights
he'll
as
still
to
be
both or just one?
both.
Okay.
And hopefully they can go in a home
Um,
together.
Okay. Have you thought about options like guardianships until you got back on your feet, or is this just set in stone that you're ready to terminate?
I'm ready to terminate. It's been a long struggle. I don't see it getting any better. I'm 19. I've only been in school for one semester now. I still have a long ways to go. It's just going to be too hard for me to take care of 2 kids and go to school and better myself, where these kids could go to a good home. And like I said, I want to keep them together if that's possible. I know I have with a 2-year old and then a baby, it might be a little bit easier, but that's one of my requirements is they stay together in an adoption.
Okay. And the father of the unborn child, is he in the picture? Is he present?
No, I've gone through domestic violence service and he's out of our picture completely. I don't know where he
Okay,
is.
so he's the same father of your prior child?
The new child, no, I don't know who that dad is. The 2-year
Okay.
old's father, I don't know where
There
he
will
is. And I don't know who the father of the new dad is. It's one of uh, 2 men, but they don't
okay.
know I'm pregnant.
Um, we probably we probably will have to at least serve them
I
for,
don't know their
to
names.
get them served to
I,
let them
I,
know.
I don't know their names. I met them at a bar.
Okay. There are other steps that we could do, like publishing in the paper, things like that, as
Okay.
to try to find out who the child is. Just because if you do give the child up for an adoption, um, we don't want anything to come back
Okay.
and affect that adoption.
Yeah, just whatever
So,
I need to
okay.
do. Like I said, I don't know their names. It was a dumb weekend, and I went Friday night, then went again Saturday night with some girlfriends. And I had a different guy each night. Sorry.
That's okay. Um, do you have anybody in mind that you're wanting to
No,
consider
I
for
don't know
adoption?
anybody. I just want them to go to a good home. I, I, a girl in class was talking about she had her son adopted, and he was adopted outside of the state of that we live in Oklahoma. That way, I don't have to worry about running into anybody that I know in a store or anything. That way, the kids
Are
will
you wanting to
terminate all
go ahead?
rights.
Sorry.
I've talked to her about it. Yeah, So I do know my options, and I'd rather terminate all rights and just let them and have it closed. That way they can't come find me later, and that way they can just accept who their parents are and go from there. That's what
Okay.
she did.
Um,
They're young enough; they won't ask
are
questions.
you wanting, yeah. Are you wanting to go through like an adoption agency or are you
I don't
wanting
know the
to
option.
place them in DHS
She
custody?
just said to come talk to my social worker.
Okay, so there are two options that I mean you can place your kids in DHS custody, but they will still have to like set up some type of like treatment plan type thing and get to that process of you terminating in front of the court. Or we can go through an adoption agency and see if they don't have somebody that you can pick to adopt your children.
Um, that's fine. I'm okay taking care of my son. He's not in any harm or anything. And the new child, just like I said, I just recently found out I was pregnant. I would, but I just want to start the process. So I, I don't really understand the difference between the two. But I guess adoption agency, that way they're not in DHS and get split. One gets taken at birth and gets split up, and I would just rather maybe an adoption agency that way I know they're going to the same family.
Okay. We can sure look into that. Do you need any help with like prenatal childcare or anything like that as in the meantime for this?
Um, I get food stamps and I get TANF, but I don't have any assistance with childcare. And with me being pregnant, I'm not able to work. I wait
Okay.
tables and I can't wait tables now. I have to hostess, and so I'll have a loss of income. So I still get TANF, and then maybe a rental assist, something, whatever help I could get would be great. I just can't make as much money as I used to, and I'd still like to keep going and
Okay.
staying in school.
Have you reported the loss of income or do we need to look into that doing that also?
We need to look into that. I haven't reported it.
Okay.
And that might open the
Do you get
door for
child support?
childcare, and because hostess is straight hours, but I can pick up more hostess hours. I can work like a lunch shift and then go home and then come back and work a dinner shift if I had some type of childcare. And then on my days,
Okay.
that's the days I don't have class. But right now I'm kind of at a loss because I've had a friend, but I was making enough money, and we kind of helped each other. So we worked opposite shifts, and like one day I worked, one week I would work these lunch shifts and she would work the dinner, and then the next week she would work the lunch shifts and I would work the dinner, and then we watch each other's kid for. But being pregnant with two-year olds, and I just can't do that, and so I do need some kind of childcare, and I
Okay.
can't do that switch of
Do you
work.
have do you get food or not food stamps, sorry. Do you get uh child support from your first father?
No, we can't find him, but he's under. I went through domestic violence, so I've got a protective order on him anyways, but nobody's been able to find him for child support. I haven't got anything from him. And his one parent's deceased and the other one's in prison. They were crack addicts like he is.
Okay. Would you be willing to sit down with a counselor to make sure that this is really the decision and the process that you want to take? And we can revisit this also? Or is this like
Yeah, I can do that because
we're
I don't want to get
you
later on and
just
change the mind and then be detrimental to the family. But I know the new
okay.
baby that I need to get him up for adoption. I'm just worried about changing my mind with my 2-year old. But so yeah, that would be nice just to make sure I'm doing the right thing. I don't have any support. I still haven't spoken to my mother and or my father.
The mom's still absent
Yeah.
from your life.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She doesn't claim me or her grandson.
So she would not be an option for like guardianship or
Oh,
permanent guardianship or anything like that,
no,
in
she
your
doesn't even want to
opinion.
see a she doesn't even want to see a picture of him. And like I said, his dad's in prison and his mother overdosed on crack a few years back. So and he may I don't know where he is. He's like I said, he's a crack user, so he's probably under a rock somewhere.
Is there anything else that's going on that you need to tell me about?
No, that's it. That's quite a bit.
Okay, so let me, um, you're wanting to look into a adoption for possibly your 2-year-old, but definitely for the unborn child that you're
Yeah,
carrying.
no,
Um,
my 2-year-old too. I just want to go through the counseling and make sure before I just need to sit.
okay,
That's what I need to. I mean, he needs a better life. I can't give him that. I can barely afford it. And my other option is
okay.
to quit school and get a mediocre job that we still barely get by the rest of our lives. I mean, at this point, I can't take care of him financially. He deserves better than a crack dad and a teenage mom. There's a lot. There's people that
Um,
can provide for him.
okay, yeah.
My friend did it. She said
Now,
it was
what
hard.
if,
Yeah, my friend did it. She said it was hard at first, but now that um she stepped back, she's glad she's did it because her child's in a better place. Some military family adopted
and
him.
that's unreasonable. Okay. And does she have any relationship with her children, like an open adoption or anything, or was it a closed adoption also?
It was a closed adoption, but
Or do you know?
she gets an update once a year and kind of a letter, from where the I guess somebody goes and visits. But she said she just got
And
that
would
one.
you like
She just got
that?
that one just once. She just got it once, I guess.
Oh, just
Just a year afterwards to see how they were doing to make sure. And she said they're great. Her son's great. Yeah, her baby
okay. Well,
daddy back in too.
I definitely want you let us get some referrals into some counseling sessions to make sure that
No, no,
this is exactly what
I
you
don't
want
need
to
a bunch of
do.
sessions. I don't have time for a bunch of sessions. I'll meet once, but this is what I want to do. I don't have
Okay.
time for a whole bunch of sessions. I just want to meet one time. I'll meet with them one time and
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can't get you in that one time and see if, this is exactly what, you're saying that this is exactly what you want to do, but I just want to make sure that this is what you want to do so that you don't come back and have regrets later, okay?
yes, ma'am.
So, let's get that started and then how about I will get the referrals out and everything and get you to meet with her within the next couple of weeks. Um because you're just newly pregnant, so if we want to keep them both together, we can do like a temporary placement for the 2-year-old and then try to transition the new baby into that home also. But let's
Yeah,
try
so that
to
way he doesn't have to get into a new home and then a new baby and not get the yeah, I
right,
understand. That way he gets some attention for the baby
right,
comes. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
right. So let's try that and then we'll meet back. How about we meet back 3 weeks from today, about 3 o'clock? Would that work for you?
Yeah, just yeah, that way I'll ask off. That'll sound good.
Okay. And then in the interim,
I have a
we
doctor's appointment in 2 weeks
okay.
for
And
the
we'll
baby.
also and we can do a Zoom meeting. We can do a Zoom meeting just like today so that you won't have to be take that much time off, okay?
Okay.
What time do you get off? What time do you get off work?
2 o'clock and then I have to be back at 4 o'clock. That's the latest and the earliest. So if you did a three
Okay, would
o'clock, I could make it.
2:30 work
Yeah,
better
two
for you?
thirty, I could make it. I wouldn't have to
Okay,
go
we'll
out
do
so
a
far.
2:30 Zoom meeting. We'll
Oh,
do a
okay.
2:30 Zoom meeting that day. And then that way you can get back to work at 4 o'clock without missing any income.
Okay.
And then in the interim of this, we will look for maybe like an adoption agency, a approved temporary placement if that's what we want to do and get the child transitioning in. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, now we're going to switch. I'll be the social worker. This recording's for educational purposes only. Nothing of this is of any true nature. Hi, Nikki. I'm Leah. I'll be your new social worker. Have a seat. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
What brings you in? What can we do? What can I do to help you?
Well, I just recently found out that I am 4 weeks pregnant. Um, so I need help.
You need help. So do you
Yeah.
plan on keeping this child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Do you mind if I kind of briefly go over your case history to make sure I've got everything correct?
No, that's fine.
Okay, you have a 2-year-old son, Jared, correct?
Yes.
I did notice that his father, Jerome, is in prison at this time. So I know that you haven't had contact
Yes.
with him. You've got a protective order, but he's in prison as well. So that kind of puts a safety barrier as well. Without him harassing you, you don't have to worry as
Correct.
much. So, and you do know who the father of the new child is, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, we'll go about that in just a minute. It's not Jerome, is it?
No, ma'am.
Okay, because I know he just recently got processed in the system, so I didn't know. Um, you plan on keeping the child. You had Jared at 17, and your mother tied any contact with you. Have you had any type of relationship with your mom or your sister or even your dad?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, okay. Are you still in school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I did look up, and your Medicaid, your Sooner Care is still up to date for you and Jared. I did not see a pregnancy on there, so I can go and add that in for you if that's okay. And then that way you'll start getting your
That
prenatal
would be perfect.
services. Okay. Also, it was your food stamps is still up to date. We don't need to renew that. Those are don't need renewal for another. You just did those so another 4 months. But I will add that you're pregnant because that does make a difference in your food stamps as well, if that's okay with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. And is Evelyn still your caseworker or social worker for the domestic violence division?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so.
Okay, great, great. Um, let's start here. And how do you feel about being pregnant again? Are you excited or
Um,
scared?
kind of nervous.
Okay, okay. I could get
The
some counseling sessions. You can work with her a little bit about it's kind of a new mom counseling session. She can just kind of help you get ready for the pregnancy and a 2-year-old, and you've got school and you've got work on top of that, just so you don't get overwhelmed. Would you be willing to counseling sessions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, write that down. I'll get that set up for you. Whatever services do you think you could benefit from? Let's talk about your income.
Well, I
How
married.
far along are you in school?
I lack about 2 years to graduate with my associates.
Okay. Are you where are you currently employed at?
I am just working part-time jobs right now that work with the childcare that I have because she's just a home daycare and so she's only open for certain hours, but it's only during the morning and I can't work like the evening shifts where I could get more money.
You don't get any assistance for childcare with the state? I know you can't
I do, yeah, I
be
get
able
a
to go.
little bit of assistance for
Let me look into
childcare,
that
but
because
I can't work the night shift and I can get more money and more tips on the night shift and I can't work that shift.
well, you won't be able to wait tables being pregnant? You can, but it's just going to be very hard. Is that something you still want to do? Or do you want to maybe see if we can look into some other options?
Maybe some more options
Okay,
that can better help me.
let's do that. You can get childcare. It's like food stamp card. You just certain childcare center, daycare centers will have it. You swipe your card, you drop your child off. When you pick them up, you swipe it, and it shows how many days you're going. They will ding you if you're late. You'll have to pay out of pocket on that, but they will provide you Monday through Friday childcare. So maybe we can find you something. What are you wanting to go to school for?
Right now I am going to school for nursing.
Nursing. Okay. Um, while you're pregnant, let's see. I'm trying to think. There's other options, ways around nursing that can kind of get you into the field. Have you ever, you can't be a CNA right now because you're pregnant. What about some kind of vocational school, maybe during the day and or in the evening? I
Well,
know there's a medical assistant in the evening, and by the time the baby's born, you'll be graduated as a medical assistant, which will put you in the doctor's office until you get your RN degree. It's better money. A medical
so
assistant.
that's one thing I wanted to talk about is like there's a VOTEC here in town that offers like some nursing classes and stuff,
Okay.
and they have a childcare there that I could put my child in, but I don't know if it is on my plan for my child care assistance
I'll look into
or
that.
if I'd have to pay out of pocket.
Okay. I'll look into what Votech is that? Do you know offhand?
It's called Pioneer Technology.
Okay. I'll see if they are on the list. I'm not aware of that one in particular, but I know the child care centers around town offer that swipe, but I'll see if we do pay for it out there. I haven't seen it on the list, but it doesn't mean that we can't do that. And that might be able to help you. What nursing classes are you taking? Your LPN program?
Yes.
Okay, so have you completed your first year of your LPN?
Not yet. I get to finish that in May.
Okay, so when you finish your first year, that makes you you'll be certified. It's called a patient care technician, a CNA. I could get you into the local VA. They pay very well, and they will work. We can work around daycare, put you on the day shift, on the part time even, but they pay very well, and that'll kind of get you in the field a little bit.
Okay.
And then a lot of times when you graduate, the VA will definitely pick you up, and they're one of the better LPN jobs here in town if that's what you wanted to do. There's also the hospital. Once you become a CNA, you can work at the hospital. That's 312. So that's only 3 shifts a week. If you do daytime, we can find you a child care. You work your 3 shifts and then you go to school after that. But there are options there. Is that something you might be interested in?
Yes.
Okay. Are you leaning towards the hospital or long-term care, which is like the nursing home, the VA?
Probably the long-term care.
Okay, long-term care. Would you be interested with the VA?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So when once you get that license, we can get after the baby, we can get you in there. I'll see if they have
Okay.
something. Sometimes housekeeping, just to start out, and housekeeping even pays more than what you would trying to make tips. If I can get you a housekeeping job there, you can do that while you're pregnant. Just there's
Okay.
nothing toxic that you would have to deal with, just empty trash. And there's also in the kitchen where you can help pass out trays. There's a few jobs at the VA that you can do that's not patient contact. And then once you get your long-term care, it seems like you said about in May, that's about when your baby will do, right? Around April. You said if you're 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we can get you in as soon as that baby's due and you're up and on your feet again, get you that. I know they pay their CNAs 15 an hour. That's in it over
Okay.
40 hours. And then they also give you 100%, child care. I mean, they provide insurance as well. And then there's overtime to pick up. You'll make friends, you'll have a network.
Okay.
And then, like I said,
That would be nice.
yes, there's a lot of single moms there. So you won't be so alone anymore. And then I know the VA will a lot of times because the VA is run through the state of Oklahoma, even though they're federal, veterans are, they still are a state funded hospital or a long term care facility. So you'll get all state benefits. You'll be a state employee.
Okay.
Is that something
Um,
you're interested in?
two other things.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. And two other things that I had questions about
Yes,
was
ma'am.
I know that with my first son, with me getting assistance, you guys went after child support from the father. Is there a way not to go after child support on this dad? Because he's married.
Will he sign over parental rights, all rights, or you just rather not?
I'm not sure. He doesn't know I'm pregnant at the moment.
And you don't want him to know, correct?
No.
Are you afraid of running into him, or was it just kind of a one night stand? I don't mean to pry. I just didn't know what avenue.
It was he he came in to work and was very nice, and one thing led to another, and then I found out he was married, and I just don't want, we were in a relationship for like 3 weeks, and I don't want to be the cause of that.
Okay, okay. What we'll have to do is run an ad in the paper just for precautionary. That way, if he ever comes back, then the ad is run. It's kind of like a divorce in the state of Oklahoma. You have to run an ad for the ex-husband if you
Okay.
can't find him, in order to divorce him without him contesting or his knowledge. So I'll get everything
Okay.
set up about that.
And and then the second thing was I was working this last week and missed my WIC appointment. Is there a way that we can get that rescheduled?
I'll reset that up for you. So WIC set up appointment. Okay. I'll set that up for you and then I'll call you and just leave a message on your voicemail of when it is. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And like I said, I can go in and then add your food stamps to where you get a little help with that. I'll set up your WIC and then I'll add them to your center care. And then we need to find out about
Okay.
daycare and getting you a better job. So let me get a hold of my contacts. Let me look into the daycare at the school. That way you have him. Let me talk to the VA and see what they have available out there that maybe we can try to get you a better paying job and not so no not so hard.
Okay.
You don't have to rely on tips. You're going to have a steady paycheck and know how much it is. And they do 8 hour shifts,
Okay.
and they have three different shifts: 6 to 2, 2 to 10, and 10 to 6.
Okay.
Okay. All right. How about come back in, let's say 2 weeks? What's a good time for you and a good day?
In 2 weeks, I have a doctor's appointment in the morning. Can we do the afternoon?
Yeah. What day is that on? A Tuesday, Monday?
Yes,
Okay.
Tuesday.
So Tuesday, how about 2 o'clock?
Okay.
Okay. I got you down for 2 o'clock and I will have everything that I need to know. I've got a friend at the VA, like I said. And plus I can pull up a job postings and see, but I'll call out there and see what she has going on out there.
Okay.
Okay. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, Tim.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Nikki. Bye bye.